went to bed at 4:30 last night. Oh my gosh. And I've been up since 8:30. I only got four hours of sleep. It's gonna be tough. It's 10:30 now. It's gonna be a long day. Anyway, good morning. The weather's not so nice out. It's gonna be hot, or we have thunderstorms later. All right, let me get pop out. Good morning, Luke. Rumble. I hit the wrong thing. I hit YouTube. Rumble. Okay, pop out. What's up, Will? What are you doing up so early? We didn't sleep last night. Good morning, Smokey. Like we did this. We saw a few nice media activity last night. There was a few nice ones. The weather's not looking good for tomorrow, Wednesday night, at all. That really, you know what? Sucks. I'll just say it. Sucks. Been up since what? Because of all. Really? The weather's like that? What's up, DLD? Come on. Enlarge. What's going on? What is wrong with Facebook? That was weird. Okay, we're good for now. All right. Good morning, Bob. So, Will, you were here last night. Remember I said I don't know if you were here when I said it, but I went to get my fat wood just now. Don't think anything else. You guys know what fat woods are? Bill, what the fuck are you talking about so early in the morning? Oh my God, I can only imagine. It's treated kindle, pretty much, to start fires like in the fireplace or the wood stove. So I bought 5 bags because they're really hard to get during the winter, even the fall, because everybody buys them. Because up here, it's like everybody has a fireplace or a wood stove or a pellet stove or something like that. I'm not seeing anything of interest on Telegram, to be honest. I'm checking. Nope. All clear for now. Yeah, I got it. Good morning, Morgan. Yeah, I've been up since early. I didn't get no sleep. There it is. 5 bags of that stuff. Because I know, see, it's for real. Fat wood. See? It's for real. So I got my stash for the winter. I always prep. I never wait. I prep. I'm the squirrel collecting the nuts on steroids. Yeah, you could say I'm nuts. Oh my gosh. And it was on sale. I mean, $1 off when you buy in bulk of more than 3. I said, shit, I'll buy 5. It's like buy 4, get 1 free. Usually I have hazelnut creamer in my coffee to start the day. Today I put heavy whipped cream, like heavy cream. Oh, it tastes so good. But I know why I'm freaking out on coffee lately. Look at the size of this mug. No wonder I'm all amped up after I drink a cup of this. This is like a heavy dose of coffee. This is a big mug. I have big hands and that mug still looks kind of big. My hands look small. Whatever the hell that means. Another week. It's funny because my buddy, I mean, he's a friend. He's the bass player for the Rush tribute band. So I asked him last night, are you playing near the area anytime soon? Lo and behold, this morning he messages me. This dude must get up early for work. They're playing nearby in 2 months. You know I got my ticket. AF2K fan all the way. If you missed Rush and you love Rush and you couldn't get to go to see them, if AF2K is in your neck of the woods, go see them. They're freaking amazing. So to drive there, it's going to take about 40 minutes. But it's up here. It's beautiful driving. It's not city driving. It's rural driving, country driving. Build music in the car time driving. Dark roads. Coming back, it's like, this is the perfect situation to get abducted by aliens. I'm out in the middle of the fucking woods driving on a road that really is very narrow, to say the least. It's like you got to watch out. It's two-way, but it's like a one-way road. When you're cutting through these areas, off-road, you're going down a road like, is this going to lead to some crazy shit? Like in a horror movie or something? It's like that. But I love the drive, coming home, everything. Love it. So, what's going on? Steve Harris versus Vito Bratta. That's another thing. When you're comparing the styles of bassists or guitarists or whatever, they all have their unique sound, style. It is so hard to compare other bass players or drummers. Well, jazz, fusion, metal. It doesn't matter. I don't like to say this guy's better than this guy. Well, it's different music. It's different styles. You know what I mean? Like Geddy is a great bass player. I think he's so underrated. Geddy Lee is a great bass player. Now Harp is quick, and he really is the one that put galloping on a bass a style. That is a Steve Harris signature. You know what I mean? That's a Harris thing. He made that what it is. So again, everybody has their own unique style and abilities. I love it all. Now, my favorite drummer is Neil Peart, but there's a lot of other great drummers out there. TBN reported Israel is probably going. We've seen those. Who put that in chat? Luke? That's been reported for the last few days. Yes. Yes. Everything you said is correct, Luke. Everything. That's been reported throughout many media outlets and social media outlets, everything. Al Jazeera, I don't trust. That's a Qatar-owned news agency. Qatar owns that. They operate. Al Jazeera is Qatar. I don't go to Al Jazeera for sourcing, that's for sure. Wish Sean is here? I didn't see Sean. What's going on, Sean, if you're in there? There he is. Remember, everything you guys are saying is hypothetical, and anybody's opinion, it'll vary. Would Trump pressure against Israel to end another war? Look, we know this. If Israel thinks they are on some kind of an imminent threat, they're going to act. They have a history of doing this for decades, whether it's in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Iran, or even taking out commanders or leaders in other Arab countries to take them out and assassinate them, which the Arab countries do not like that. So Israel's going to do what Israel needs to do. At some point, there's a boundary, there's a line. They have to do, look, we're great allies, whatever the talk is, but you have to do what's best for the United States. I have to do what's best for Israel. Just the way you would protect your people, I have to do the same responsibility for mine. It's as simple as that. Whether the president likes it or not, that's irrelevant. It's not irrelevant to the president's perspective on he would rather it not happen, but what are you going to tell another country not to defend itself? Are you going to be there to defend them? The likelihood is no. I actually don't see the president, if Israel is attacked or whatever, I don't know if they, especially if Israel, now it's different if Iran were to preemptively strike Israel. If Israel, oh my God, if Iran were to strike Israel, that might be different. But if Israel decides to take it upon themselves and act unilaterally and strike Iran at certain targets, and Iran retaliates, there's no guarantee the president's going to back them. And they should really take that seriously. Can Israel defend itself being surrounded by adversaries or relationships with countries that is not on any really solid terms? Turkey to the north. Forget about that relationship right now. Throw that shit out the window. Think they're surrounded. You got Syria, Iraq, Iran. You got the Houthis down to the south in Yemen. They're surrounded. In the past, they've had issues with every Arab country. Just think about Egypt. They are surrounded. That's their neighborhood, and they have to defend themselves in their neighborhood. Imagine you living in a neighborhood where you've got enemies that want to destroy and kill you all around you. How would you feel? I don't think you'd feel good with that, would you? I know I sure wouldn't. So they got to do what's best for them. But a lot of people are going to spin it and say that it's Israel's way of getting the United States back in some kind of conflict in the region. You know that. A lot of people are going to say, oh, they're just doing it to try to draw us back into the war again. You know that. So it's damned if we do, damned if we don't. That's not true, Eugene, because a lot of my old neighborhood in the Bronx was mostly Italian, Irish. It does not look like that anymore. When I lived there, that's the way it was. When I go back 20 years later and look at my old neighborhood, I'm so glad I moved out. Now, that happens in certain places in New York City. In rural communities, it's a little different. But in the city, a city neighborhood could flip within 20 years. What it once was is nothing, it looks nothing like it used to. So, not necessarily the neighborhood you move in, what the neighborhood could become over time. And I've seen the signs. I definitely seen the signs. A 7.4 magnitude just hit Colombia? Wow. That ain't good for them. Colombia has a new president. He's a right wing leader. That's good for the president's relationship with this guy moving forward, possibly. That could be interesting to see how this develops in Colombia. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on joint U.S. Colombian activity trying to take out the cartels there. I'm just saying, keep an eye on Colombia too. Israel has the support in Congress to go alone, in my humble opinion. President, let it go as long as oil stays. We know about definitely, Luke, we all know about the oil manipulation. There's no doubt. That's his focus, and the midterms. That's his focus. Oil and midterms. And returning back to this, getting away from distraction, which he probably views it as, Iran, and focusing more on internal domestic issues. Cuba. You say, why's Cuba? We hear all the talk that they have drones from Iran and other reasons, but Cuba is definitely close to happening. I think they want to figure out what's going to happen at some point in Iran, whether it's going to be a deal, negotiations, whatever it is. When they think things are settling down, toning down over there, they're going to set their sights on Cuba. That's just my opinion. He announced mining deals with Colombia. Again, the new president is going to have a good relationship with our current president. Keep an eye on Colombia, and not just with the mining and resources and everything else, but the cocaine cartels. And also, we know this, there's plenty of influence. I said this the other day. We should be focusing on North, Central, and South America and securing our neck of the woods and cleaning up the mess within all these areas. Call it, like I said, the Monroe Doctrine, Donroe Doctrine, I don't care what you call it. But that should be our main focus, especially Mexico. I can't say it enough. How many times have you guys heard me say this? I would be so going after Mexico for so many reasons. I would start with Mexico's everything that comes from South America. Where does it got to go through? Mexico to get here. Mexico's the main problem, in my opinion. Everything. I mean, just think about it. We could talk about, I'm not going to say fentanyl. I'm talking drugs in general. Human trafficking, human smuggling, arms, money laundering, the China influence, the Iran influence, whatever influences in South America, period. The cartels. You need to go to war with the cartels. Like, seriously. But that's going to bring a lot of shit here in this country because you know the MS-13 and other gang member element is here. You know the cartels are right here in our own country along the border. You're going to have to take all this shit out. It's going to be a war. Literally. But like we've had this discussion, do we wait till it gets worse to address it? You got to confront it at some point. You just don't let it metastasize and grow like another cancer, like other cancers. You got to nail that shit in the bud. That's just my opinion. And believe me, I've heard the president mention that in passing in the past, to go into Mexico and hit it with our military. I've heard him refer to that at times. It's simple. Aren't the cartels a terrorist organization? We attack terrorist cells all over the world, don't we? What makes Mexico different? Aren't they a threat to national security? You bet your ass they are, in so many ways. They are the ones that control everything that I just mentioned. They are at the heart of all of it. They are the ones that control it. That's what I would do. That's the war that we should have. I don't think anybody right now wants to rush. I don't think anybody's going to complain. I don't know about that. I'm sure the Democrats will. Cuba. Now, here's the thing. Just think about this. If Cuba's a target, would China say Taiwan is a target? We're going to take Cuba and make it a commonwealth, I don't know about a state, but we're going to take Cuba and we're going to make it ours. Let's just say that to happen. I'm not saying that's going to happen. It gives also others ideas to make moves themselves. Or there could be a backdoor agreement between China, United States. Listen, wait till we get all those personnel out of Taiwan, the tech companies that are reinvesting in the United States. They're building their plants here. They're bringing all that technology here. Can we just finish that first? And then you could do whatever you want with Taiwan. But don't fuck with us when we're taking Cuba and other areas. I don't know. I don't know. There could be backdoor agreements that we're not even aware of. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying it makes you think. Anything's possible. Russia, the only thing that makes Russia Russia is their military arms, nuclear. Their deterrence, their threat of what they have. Russia's economy is absolutely pretty much collapsed. That's not what makes Russia Russia. Russia is those nukes and the threat that exists due to their military. And I'm not talking about necessarily on the boots on the ground military. I'm talking about their arsenal and the threat they pose. Direct. I mean, they have subs right off the coast. How long before they... So they are a threat. No matter what, no matter how shit-shaped they are. They're a threat. But not the economic threat as China poses and global threat of influence like China is. So we have to keep an eye on certain things. Mexico won't do shit, exactly. Because you got to remember, they're corrupt, they're totally bought out. I mean, the cartel can simply just threaten them. Either you do what we say, or we'll come after you. Hold on, I just got a message. But the cartels also learned, they're like the Robin Hoods. This is serious. They're like the Robin Hoods of their communities. They're embedded in communities. They bought off the people. The people worship them because they take care. It's almost like the mob style. They take care of the people in those communities, the cartels. Food, water, money, whatever. So they bought out the people. They protect them. So that's going to be a shit show too. Good morning, Thomas and Moses, Eugene, Diesel. Brother Kyla, what's happening? Mafia is better. I don't know if, I don't want to say, if Kyla is the Kyla that I met at a location nearby. I get confused. Like, so many people come in here and it's like Robin Hood, but a freaking demented Robin Hood model. Taiwan is geographically difficult for an amphibious attack, plus U.S. and Japan military. Yes, Japan has a couple of craft. Yes, they do. They are light, but China's carriers are crap. Not only that. Everything that's going on, you don't think that Taiwan has got a shitload of drones ready to launch themselves and they're not learning from the Ukraine model, the Iranian model? You kidding? The Russian model with drones? You don't think that Taiwan is prepping and preparing for that. It's not going to be easy for China. The threat of that alone. Oh, you're the former rancher. Oh, you're the rancher from Kansas. Oh, I remember you. I remember you now. I think we all have to have a party at your place. I remember you talking about you were out there farming, doing work. That's awesome. Now I remember. Oh yeah, Cuba has a lot of vintage cars on the streets there. It's like if you need to make a movie, if you need the vehicles, right there. I remember the Godfather 2 movie that was set in Cuba during the Revolution. Castro in the movie. Yes, that's true. April, I think, is the tide, or May. You're right about that, Eugene. There's a certain time of a year. I think it's like April or May. Don't quote me, but I remember it being something like that. You're right. You're right. Yes. Good morning, Madison. So, God only knows. It's such cray-cray out there. There's so much going on. I mean, it's really hard to keep track of all the crazy shit that's going on around the world, even here. I mean, I pray for these people dealing with those fires. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine. Enemy reports the United States continues to reduce the number of refueling aircraft in Ben Gurion. The number of U.S. refueling aircraft is approaching levels seen during ceasefires. Okay, and they're showing images of the earthquake in Bogota. Video clips. Oh shit. Saudi Aramco announces the postponement of a restart of the Jazan refinery. Attacks by the Houthi movement on the refinery will result in the continued closure for more than a month. I don't really know if that's going to affect the markets much at all. Yemeni drones are striking Makkah port, controlled by Saudi-backed mercenary forces. So that shit doesn't look like it's calming down, does it? All right, hold on. Holy shit. On the church, too. Wow. Wow. It's that is sad to see. Let's check the next clip. It's a short clip. Looks like the airport or something like that. Oh my God. So what was it? Somebody put it in. Was it a 7.4? Was it 7.4? The earthquake in Bogota, Colombia, I think. Somebody put that in chat. I don't know. This looks like an airport to me. Oh yeah, they got luggage. It's an airport. Wow. So the airport definitely looks like it got damaged. Let's see what other videos. Oh my God. I better watch the video first. Again, it looks like it's from that airport.
Dios.
I need to check the video before I put it on the screen. Because you never know graphic. This one doesn't look bad. So it definitely looks, this is again from the airport. Wow. I can't imagine what that's like. I don't want to know what that's like. For real. I don't want to know. Holy shit. Wow. That's leveled. So the clips are coming in. Oh my God. Hold on. I'm going to put it right here. Oh my God. There are people in there. They need to get the hell out. Wow. Yeah, there was an earthquake in Colombia. 7.4. Somebody put it in chat. I'm not confirming that. I would have to look at the USGS. Dang. So yeah, there are images, videos coming in. Office of the Supreme Leader. You could see there's some shit going on inside the regime. Orders regarding the appointment of several high-ranking military commanders in the Islamic Republic of Iran will be published within the hour. There is definitely a power struggle going on, internal, because of that dude threatening to take over, storm Tehran and take it over, and even telling the IRGC kill them if necessary, the security forces around the regime. He wants, this guy's just off the scale. So they took that seriously. It looks like they're changing. There's doubt going on, like, can we trust these commanders? Are those commanders loyal to us, or are they loyal to someone else? There's something going on internally in Iran. Keep an eye. Yeah, so that's the latest. Let's see what's going on in here. It was a 7.4 in Colombia. But I don't know what you guys are talking about as far as the IRGC can just take their ball and go home. Look, it doesn't look like, and I don't know what you guys are talking about because I would have to scroll up, but it doesn't look like the support of the proxies is going to be affected in any future deal. Not that I could see. Look at the Houthis, what they're doing. And Iran has made it clear they're going to continue to support the axis of resistance, the proxies. So I don't even know how the hell all that's going to work out. That's been like going on for decades. The IRGC has announced new advances in its missile capabilities. Are you surprised? Every time there's a lull, the Chinese send more upgraded logistical components. God only knows what Russia and China are doing. And people say, how Russia's involved in a big thing. You think that Russia doesn't gain by us being drawn out in a long conflict with Iran? They deem this as it's weakening us because we're bogged down in a conflict. Forget about China. And are capable of altering their trajectory. We've seen evidence of that already to evade enemy defense systems. We've seen that already in Jordan. There were reports that in its final phase coming in, it was able to maneuver. That was out weeks ago. Smokey, you know that. What's up, Swiper? But you should slow the chat so you can read it. It's not even about that. It's slow. It's not like there's 10,000 people in chat. It's just that I'm focused on everything else at the same time. World War III monitor update from Iran's foreign ministry. I'll check. I have 4 monitors, and all monitors are loaded with stuff so I can see updates. You're just on one monitor, chat. I have other things to watch out for, too. I already talked about the port that's under attack. Oh, that is interesting what he put 7 minutes ago. Iran's foreign ministry spokesman, negotiations with Oman have faced repeated attempts of sabotage and disruption, referring to the United States. Iran's foreign ministry spokesman, Strait of Hormuz security depends on aggressors ending military actions against Iran and compensating for previous violations. They're hell-bent on compensations. That's not going to happen. There's no way the president's going to agree to any of that. Strait of Hormuz cannot be considered secure until previous violations are addressed. Like I said, give me what they're smoking. I want to try it. Eugene, you don't think a 4 to 6 week campaign turned into 6-7 months is not getting bogged down in a conflict? Do you see an off-ramp here? You don't see an off-ramp? Something he said that was going to be 4 to 6 weeks. It'll be easy. It'll be quick. Here's our demands, and now we're stuck here. You don't think we're bogged down in Iran? I think a lot of people would disagree with that. A lot of people want to see this end either way and not become a drawn-out conflict like in the past. So I tend to disagree with you. Just saying. I even think the administration realizes that. Um, anyway, if these images are real, Trump is clearly worried about some sort of threat. Russian 1 point, again, that's going on for years. Remember, no new wars, no foreign wars. 4 to 6 weeks. We did Venezuela in less than a day. What has 4 to 6 weeks turned out? When we gave Iran demands, and now Iran is giving us demands. You think that this current situation is going away tomorrow or next month? This is going to go on for months. This is not going away. At least not based on the current situation. President Trump was saying, I saw that. I saw that, Diesel. And that is interesting. I don't know if these are actually there. I don't know if that's true. But there were 2 craft that were intercepted and escorted out of the area. That is true. I'm not so sure about this. I wouldn't be surprised, though, considering that the threat that he's currently on, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you got to defend the president. Let me tell you, that, and we had this problem with the drones like 2 years ago. It could be 3 years ago. Right? Time flies. They have to protect the president for any cost. You have to protect the president. If it means putting in some of these batteries to protect him when he's at Bedminster or anywhere else, Mar-a-Lago, I don't care where he is, you have to protect him. They better. So I would not be surprised, Diesel, if that is true, but there's no way to confirm that those images are real. But that is... UK verified finds their drones are reporting back to China. What? Fucking China's giving Iran so much logistical support with intel. It's sick. And then the president says that he trusts Xi. Xi promised him this. And it's like, please God, he's just saying that. And it's not for real. How are you going to trust Xi? He's not your buddy. Oh, if that's true, that's crazy shit. UK has discovered that the Royal Navy's new spy drone fleet planned for the Strait of Hormuz and multiple Gulf spy missions against Iran has been secretly transmitting data from the drone's primary camera to China. A drone boat fleet built by Kraken had cameras with Chinese-made components transmitting heartbeat communications to an IP address in China. Oh, Jesus Christ. The same K3 Scout model has also been purchased by U.S. Special Ops Command. Oh, that's just, if that's true, that's crazy. Don't use anything that has anything to do with the Chinese. Good morning, Teeth of God. I had my first practice with the new band last night. What kind of music, Teeth of God? What kind of music do you play with your band? And the running spokesman now says they've ruled out any future negotiations with Trump. Oh, they're really trying to put pressure on him. Ghalibaf all of a sudden is a tough guy. He has to, because there's a regime flux going on. The hardliners, the ultra hardliners look like they want to take over. So now they're going to try to wait out Trump's term. Better hope they are still alive by then. Yeah, that's a good point. I think, personally, after the midterms, you're going to see this try to control and manipulate the market to keep the prices down. But once after the midterms happen, shit could hit the fan big time. And it also gives us time for us to restock, because you know there's a rush behind the scenes to get this shit done. Whether it's coming from other countries or internally, you know we're on that rush right now for production. Think of like World War II, how the United States were just, but that was much different, but still, they created the capability of mass production. I would not be surprised. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, of course, that we're not aware of. And they are scrambling to get shit done. And Congress, whether they're a Democrat or a Republican, whether you want to blame Biden or you want to blame Trump, that is moot. We need to focus on, this has been a hole for decades. They need to provide the budget. And I know they're going to bitch and moan saying, well, you shouldn't have gotten us in this war and spent billions and billions of dollars. You know, that's going to come. Forget about that. They need to focus on that. Not only that, it would be nice if the United States also, which they are, with other countries, focus on our own drone swarm fleet and also learn a little bit, and I know it's happening. I know the UK is working with the Ukrainians, but how they used their ingenuity to intercept the drones at a much lower cost than using a fucking missile that cost $3 million a piece. You have to start thinking about the countermeasures against swarm drones and the other asymmetrical warfare type of things that go on. They have to be focused on that. Let's see. If Iran generally plans to just wait out Trump, isn't that a massive gamble? Are you kidding me? Both sides, and everybody wants to just pick a side, but if you look at it objectively, not politically, because a lot of people are just going to do the rah-rah, both countries need an out on this. They both do, for different reasons. Iran's plan is to keep the president frustrated, try to mock him, try to wait him out, knowing that the pressure is there, not just domestically with the economy, but also the midterms. They know this. They're going to play that card. Yet Iran is in such a shit show economically. It's collapsed. There's no other way to say it. It is collapsed. It is not going to collapse. It is collapsed. So they know they got to do something soon too to rectify that situation for themselves. So really both sides need a way out of this. Even though they talk the rhetoric and going back and forth, but both sides need to gain from some type of an agreement because they both need it. Regardless of how you look at it politically. And they're both going to spin it as a victory. But this is not good. And the people that are suffering in Iran is unbelievable. It's beyond pale. It's horrible. And they've got other issues, infrastructure issues, water, power, food supply. They've got major. This is catastrophic for Iran. So they need a deal just as bad or a way out. So hopefully with those two things that both sides do need and are looking to do, hopefully they'll figure out a way. But this talk and bluster and all this shit doesn't help. But believe me, that's why you have a lot of the so-called moderates in Iran trying to negotiate and are looking for the betterment of the country as a whole. We need to stop this. We need to have some negotiation with the United States. We have to find a way to resolve this. But then you got the hardliners, the ultra-hardliners who are calling the shots and saying, no, we'll die for this cause. We want revenge. We want blood. We want Trump. They're not rational. We're not dealing with rational actors. The ones that are really calling the shots in Iran, they're not rational. They're irrational. Thus, this is not a normal situation. People have to understand that. Like I've said, we've said this conversation before this started. The regime's objectives are clear. They know they're going to get pounded. They've been preparing for this for decades. They know they're going to get smashed. But their main objective is to wait it out and survive. Period. And if they are allowed to survive and rebuild, this is going to be a seriously bad issue moving forward in the future. It's not going away. And we have to realize that. So, I'm raising everybody's blood pressure. I had too much coffee already. So, obviously, they all have their certain reasoning to end this. But we got to get there. U.S. military is using drone boats built here in Texas. Yeah, we've seen some of the videos of the drone boat hitting that pier with the mini sub. That was actually pretty cool. I'm just saying. But they've been building them in Texas. These were the ones that recently struck Bandar Abbas Pier. Yes, I saw that, the CENTCOM video. That's what I was talking about. Yes. I remember that video. I shared that video. I remember that with the mini sub on it. And boom. Oh, that's unbelievable that you were talking about that. $3.2 billion Texas shipyard. I'm going to tell you, the Democrats better not play a game with the budget. They will. You know that. So we need to do what we need to do. And you know the blame game is going to come. They all do it. All politicians do it on both sides. Blame. It's political. But the point is, it has to get done. I don't care what party you're part of. It has to get done. We've also identified vulnerabilities within our capability. Just like anything else, you learn. And you adapt. If you don't learn, fool on you. So to me, it's no-brainer. We have had drones from AI Tech in the USA for over 20 years. Yes. But now we got to roll it out and use it. Put it this way, I would have had a shitload of drones in all these Arab Gulf state countries. Instead of putting Patriots or THAADs, I would have had drones advanced to intercept every fucking Iranian drone. At much lesser cost. We wouldn't have this problem right now. So-called problem. Countermeasures. At least, what's going on here? Speak the Truth thinks that's why we haven't gone into the Gulf, because they still have time. Mini subs hiding that will eventually run out of air. Yes, they have to come up. But that's not the only issue. Have you ever looked into what Iran is capable of doing with mines, even underwater? And controlling mines movement? And other unmanned UAV type? It's just not those mini subs. That's just a part of it. There's much more other threats as well. It's not that simple. It is a part, but it's not. It's part of the bigger picture. The Iranians, okay, not double-minded like the United States. The United States is wavering. It's being undecided. It wants to end the war at all costs. Again, Moses. The president is looking at this, the effects of it domestically and globally, the pressure about the Strait of Hormuz. Definitely, for every election we have here, it's all one of the top things is the economy. He knows this. He knows his last 2 years are dependent on the Republicans holding power in both the House and the Senate. If one of those falls, it's going to be a shit show for 2 years. So this is also political. Iran knows this, and they're going to use that against him. So it's not just that the wavering and all this. Just like with Bibi. You don't think Bibi's worried about his election? It's political. That's just the facts of it. And he's trying to find a way out to move on to other things. I can't put it any more simpler than that. I mean, unless you have other ideas, I don't see this any other way. He wants to end this ASAP. But Iran's not going to let him get off the hook that easy. They're going to keep instigating, pushing, calling his bluffs. They may pay for that. They are gambling on such a crazy scale because their country's in tatters. But yet they're still doing that. They know they're screwed economically. They know this. But they're agitating. It's complicated. It's not as simple, oh, we should do this and that. It's so easy for any of us to sit here and say, bomb the shit out of them. Finish the job. It's so easy. But there's other things to consider. And that's just a fact. We may not like it. But again, he has to think about make America great. Domestic policy. It's like his focus is on Iran. People want that focus to return to what's going on here. That's the simplest way I could put it. Focus on the domestic issues in the United States. Not something that's thousands and thousands of miles from us. I'm telling you, that's a major sentiment here in the country by a majority of people. Both red, blue, purple, doesn't matter. And for whatever political reasoning they have, based on red, blue, purple, but still. If the elections were to happen today, the situation would be problematic. The situation would be difficult. Who said that? A Knesset speaker? And yet Netanyahu's losing a lot of electoral votes, and many here in Israel know that Netanyahu dragged the United States into the war against Iran because he's losing votes. So you know the sentiment that's going on in Israel. I'm not there. I don't know. I can tell you what's going on here, the sentiment. And I respect what you're saying. The sentiment is in Israel. So you see how that comes into play? So the same way I see what you're writing, what's going on in Israel, can you imagine what's going on here in our country? Read Teeth of God comment. Oh, I try to ask him about the music he plays. Gonna try to answer your question one more time. Hard rock, like Chevelle, Breaking Benjamin, Deftones. Wow, Deftones. Interesting. Do me a favor, Teeth of God, in the future. Can you do a recording of your band? I would like to hear it. Or if there's a video you guys put up on YouTube or something, I'd like to see it. Curious. Definitely, I'm interested. I love hearing music. I love checking out new things. And I will be brutally honest with you. You're not gonna hear me like, I will be brutally honest. But that's just my opinion musically. Yeah, send me a recording. The thing is, shit. I have to figure out a way because I don't want to give up my email because of things that have been happening here lately. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. That's the problem. That's the problem right now. I'm trying to figure out a way to communicate with you privately without putting it in a public forum. We'll figure it out. Anyway, so again, we just got to see how this plays out. But Iran, striking tankers, being defiant, putting all the rhetoric out there. Now they're demanding certain things. It's like the president's saying he's going to take a more low-key approach, let the economic pressure take its effect, whether it's through sanctions or naval blockade. Because eventually, how much can Iran take? And that is valid. They're already in a catastrophic situation. It's only a matter of time when that economic pressure affects the regime, the IRGC, the soldiers, everyone. No one's getting paid. You could see it's already becoming quite messy within the regime structure. It might take a little time. I don't know. Yeah, do that. Yeah, I know, but I got to be careful, Diesel, because there are people that are watching. Do you know what I'm saying? And the police told me to not do that. Because I got swatted. And they know that. The officer said it when he walked in. Oh, you're getting swatted. We know. That's why the conversation was like us two chilling out. They already know what the game is. So I was told not to even stream about Iran. They told me take a break, but you know me. They told me. Actually, believe it or not, Will was actually on a phone call with a police officer when I was with the police officer at a different time. And I'm going to tell you, the police are freaking pissed. Because they don't like to be used in some prank or game. They are not happy. I could tell you that, to say the least. Will, right? He said, yep, he knows how the police officer responded. I said, I'm not going to say the police officer's name, but my friend in Arizona would like to tell you a few things because he's a witness of what's been going on. Right, Will? No, actually, it is possible that some of the police here are watching this stream right now. Oh, yes. So, Chris, if you're watching, and maybe some others, God bless you and your families. For real. Anyway. No, Eugene, I wouldn't be surprised. I am not kidding when I say that either. What's up, Kevin? It happened a couple of weeks ago. Twice. Remember the officer during the stream a week or so ago? That's what I'm talking about. He walked right through my door. And he was just chilling with me. And then Tycho started to jump all over and I had to end the stream. But he and I were just talking, hanging out. And I told him, right now, you see how you came here right now? That's because the person is watching and they did this so you could come here again. They don't like that. Oh, it's swatting, right? Is that what he said? Something like that. I said, yep. That's a crime. Swatting is a crime. You are using the resources of first responders or law enforcement for false reports. That's a crime. Punishable by fines and or imprisonment. And it's not just that, it's also a federal crime. So that was wild though. And then he appreciated it when somebody said a comment, tell him we salute him. He liked that. According to Jerusalem Post, Bibi has increased his lead to 41-34 over his opponent. He was leading only by a point at the end of July. The thing is, I want to ask Moses this. Where's Moses? Where are you? Did everyone lose connection for 2 seconds? It was probably just you. Moses, if Bibi, I want to ask you a question directly. If Bibi were to resume military strikes against Iran, do you think that will help or go against him in the upcoming election? In other words, also doing it unilaterally and not being the so-called puppet of the United States. I want to see what you tell me on that question. I'll wait because I know there's a delay. I just picked up acid bit of along the way. Caspian Sea has the largest oil reserves in the world. Don't even get me started with the Caspian Sea stuff, Marianne. You know that. I've been saying it since the beginning. Swatted with strippers? A tidbit, I get it. Not acid, tidbit. What did Diesel say? I'm just waiting to see what Moses writes. See, Tita God, I'm an old school because I'm older. I'm a metalhead. Classic rock, hard rock, that was my sweet spot. But the older music. Moses, where are you? I don't want to wake this thing up and ask the device. Alexa, if Benjamin Netanyahu were to resume strikes against Iran, do you think that would be helpful to him for his upcoming election?
Well, it's a complicated picture. Recent polls show Netanyahu's Likud party gaining ground, but he's still facing tough competition from Eisenkot's Yashar party. Historically, security issues do tend to boost his standing, but with ongoing Iran tensions and corruption charges hanging over him, it's really anyone's game at this point.
That's valid. This will help him in Israel and in his base and his voters. He will see that he is not a puppet of the United States because many see him as a yes man of the United States. I thought so.
Well, it's a tricky situation. Recent polls show most Israelis don't trust Trump on Iran, and Netanyahu's handling of the conflict has faced criticism. While some voters might see strikes as showing independence, others worry about the U.S. relationship and the war's outcome.
Valid. Alexa, stop. But after our convo about Mario, I watched him again, and you're completely right about him. Definitely biased in the wrong direction. Yeah. But I really haven't.
I found info
Alexa,
on
stop! I never really watched his show throughout. But what I've seen, I said, no, this isn't for me. Actually, Eugene, I will disagree with that again. Because Netanyahu is towing the line what the president tells him to do. He's been showing a lot of restraint because he's following President Trump's direction. That's why he's been making statements later that whether the United States makes an agreement or not, we will act unilaterally to protect the sovereignty of Israel. Because if it was up to him, he would have attacked Iran months ago again. And if it was up to him, there would have never been a ceasefire. So I disagree with that. And that's why a lot of people in Israel are flipping. Because they see it exactly that way, that Netanyahu is a puppet of the president. He does what he's told. Iran, don't forget what Iran did. Israel must stop striking Beirut. President gets on the phone. Bibi, are you fucking crazy? Stop. Stop the shit. Stop hitting Beirut. He stopped. And Iran kept pushing it. Israel has to withdraw from southern Lebanon. Israel has to do this. Israel has to do that. Message goes to the mediators. The mediators send the message to the Trump administration. And then it goes back to Bibi. And believe me, you can only imagine what the conversations are like privately between those two at times. I'm sure there's a lot of cordial, and I'm sure there's a lot of heated, where they disagree. No doubt about it. Smoky Israelis say they will go against Iran themselves. Yes. But I think that's, and Moses disagrees with me on this, I think that would be a huge mistake. If Israel were to launch a preemptive strike against Iran. But they may have to if they see an imminent threat. What if they see that Iran is ready to launch against them? Or they're redeveloping capabilities that threatens Israel? You think they're just going to sit by? They never did that in the past. They always would do a preemptive strike. Look at the history. Israel will react. If they need to, if they think they have to, they will. And I'm not just talking about now. Just look at history. How is someone your puppet when they don't do what you say? Are you kidding me? What do you mean that they don't do what they say? Netanyahu is totally following what the president tells him. There's no doubt about it. But now he's being a little bit more, how would I say, staunch about his position, dealing with Lebanon. That's why he's saying the things he's saying. He's letting the president know, and the administration, no, we're not agreeing to this. No, we're not going to agree to that. No this, no that. You do what you got to do. We got to do what we got to do. But that's dangerous because Israel's going to corner themselves and be isolated and possibly alienate their biggest ally. Because we may not be there for them if they were to preemptively strike Iran. This president might say, we told you not to do it, but you did it anyway. You're on your own. That's where things could get dicey. It is, if it's hard for you. I'm not going to get into the back and forth. Just like keep it toned down. You have your opinion. He has his opinion. I get it. Flight radar showing activity in Israel. They're saying, though, they're reporting that tankers are leaving Tel Aviv and relocating elsewhere. I don't know if that's true. They're leaving Ben Gurion and they're removing the tankers away from Israel. Maybe they think Israel's going to attack and they don't want to keep all our stuff there vulnerable, and they're removing them. Who knows? You think you're gonna leave all our stuff there as targets if they think that Israel is itching to hit Iran for whatever reason? You want our stuff there? We're gonna take all that stuff out of there. I don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying, I'm speculating completely, but I wouldn't want all our stuff there if it looks like Israel's about to do something. Just a reminder, you are allowed to argue all you want, but any direct insults, racist slurs in chat will end up in a lovely timeout. Yeah, let's calm down. Let's have a civil conversation. You guys don't have to go after each other like that. Everybody's sensitive. You got to remember, Moses. People need to remember this. Moses was right next to was in the area October 7th when they flooded into his area. He knows a lot of people. He's seen a lot of stuff. That's PTSD. And he lives with that and has lived with that all his life. So think about talking about sensitive. That man has every reason to be sensitive because he witnessed things experienced that whole thing that happened October 7th. He's literally right there where it happened without giving out where he is because we've had conversations. So just remember, he has his opinions and everything else. He's been directly affected by this his whole life. And he's lost many people that he knows, neighbors, community, everything. So I get that. And I have respect for that. And I have empathy for what he and his family and community and country have gone through with that. How could you not? That's you know what I mean? That's really talking about sensitive. It's not about that. You have to consider, you don't know what the person's background when you talk to them and what they've been through personally in their life experience. So with that being said, you have to be tactful because you don't know what that person on the other side is going through. It has a lot to do with October 7th to him. Like, my God. Let's see, what did Diesel put in? A link. He's one of them. What are we talking about? Just be civil. That's the point I'm trying to make. Just be civil to each other. This is interesting. Diesel. The reports say the IDF has canceled all military leave until further notice and moved forces to maximum readiness. This comes shortly after CENTCOM Command Brad Cooper met with the IDF chief while Channel 13 reported that Israel is preparing for possible unilateral... See, this is what I'm saying. That makes sense. A leave freeze does not prove an attack is imminent, especially with active fronts in Lebanon and Gaza, but the sequence is difficult to dismiss, yet it happened before major strikes on Iran before. That's why we could be seeing the tankers taking off and being relocated. Because we know that something could be coming with Iran. With Israel. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but is that a coincidence? Could be. But that's interesting, Diesel. You put that link in there. So... I'll even following the comments. Are you even following the comments and are you defending him? I'm not defending him. I'm just talking people are very sensitive and passionate about their opinions, including yourself, him, and all of us. But when you guys are going after each other on a personal level, that doesn't help. It doesn't matter. That's like me going after someone and attacking them like disingenuously or trying to demean them or insult even indirectly them. I won't do that. I may disagree with people, but I'm not going to shout them down and say you're wrong, I'm right. You know, that kind of mentality. That's all. I'm not picking on you. I'm not defending him. I'm not defending you. I'm not doing anything. I'm just saying in general. What's going on now? Israel shall damn themselves, it seems. Yes, Bean, you know that. Do you think... I want to ask this question in chat. Let's see what you guys say. If Israel was to do a preemptive strike against Iran, will the U.S. come to their aid? Yes or no? I'm curious to see what you guys say with that. I'm really curious what you guys think. Will the United States come to Israel's side, assistance, aid, if they preemptively strike Iran? Considering the current situation about negotiations, opening up the strait, and what the president is looking to achieve at the moment. Bong, you think so? Wow. 2 yeses, 2 nos, not right away. That's a middle. Have a great one, JC. No, yes. Oh, wow. It's like 50-50. It is a difficult question. It is a difficult question. I know it is. So it's like 55-45, no. They were directly told no, hardline no. That's true. Good, bad, good cop, bad cop. That is an excellent point, Luke. Excellent point. Yes, yes. Wow. The chat is split. Trump will watch them burn before he considers stepping in. Yes, they are planning it together. Yes, yes. Wow. It's becoming yes. The question was, if Israel were to strike preemptively against Iran, would the U.S. come to their defense? Or would they let them just hang out by themselves, unilaterally, and deal with it? The majority are now saying, yes, we would. That's interesting. I got to be honest, I wasn't expecting that. I thought the no's were going to beat the yays. The nays were going to outdo the yays. I honestly believe, I'm surprised. I think he would help defend Israel, but maybe not get directly involved. He would be very upset. Bill asked you if you thought U.S. would step in. Oh, okay. Wow. You guys are like split. But a lot of yeses. That could be all part of the plan. Like Luke said, this could be all part of the plan. Like he said, good cop, bad cop. That is interesting. Ego before midterms. Again, I don't necessarily think it's about ego. I think it's about the economy and the midterms. More than anything else here that he's concerned about. And also focusing on domestic issues. This has become a major distraction for him. He wants to focus on what's going on here. It's like everybody asks him, the press, over and over about stockpiles and Iran and Iran and that. That's all he gets bombarded with. And he's super frustrated with it. He wants to change that. That's why I think Cuba's coming soon. What's going on? What am I missing in chat? What happened? Because no one is reading the actual conversation, just putting in their own vomit. I don't know what the hell just happened because I'm paying attention to this. Bong water. What did Bong water just put in here? I agree with your comment. When the chips are down, it has to be that way, Bong. I hear you. I can't say yes or no because I have to analyze and dissect the actions that are happening on the ground. It could be yes and it could be no. That's fair. I don't know what you. I mean, like I said, let's chill. Let's just have a conversation, please. I'm keeping an eye on Telegram and X and Reuters. What's it? What? Oh, the earthquake stuff. I want to see what Smokey said because they were going to announce about the new commanders. I want to see if they're talking about it. More footage from Colombia. Maybe this is it. We're going to have to look into this more. Here it is. Here are the 6. By order of the Supreme Leader of the Islamic Revolution, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Brigadier General Ali Abdullahi has been appointed as the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, Brigadier General Ahmad Vahidi as the Commander, but I always thought he was a commander. Vahidi as the commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, but I thought he was already. Is that like officially identifying him as such? Vahidi? Brigadier General Mustafa Izzadi and his deputy, Brigadier General Ali Azmai, as the commander of the IRGC's naval forces, and Ayatollah Sayyid Hossein Taib as the commander of the Basij. Holy shit. You see, there is a power struggle going on, and they have been assigned, officially, allegedly, by the mouse. That's what somebody mentioned in chat. I think it was Smokey. Let's see. Okay, Diesel's putting another link. But Vahidi that's just bad. It looks like the hardliners are trying to take absolute control and doing away with the moderates that want to negotiate with the United States. That's what it's looking like. There's a power struggle going on within Iran. But yet the mouse has not been seen or heard of or nothing. And I think a lot of that is causing issues within because they know better. They're vulnerable. This is what I keep saying. The regime is vulnerable. Attack the regime. Attack the cancer. It is too quiet. Okay, I'm going to put the link, share it. So those are allegedly the mouse's appointments. Again, take it for what it's worth. And this is open source. It's being shared all over Telegram right now. And it's those 6 individuals that you're just seeing me share on the screen, their photos. Vahidi, though. Oh my God. Brigadier General is now promoted to General. And if that's the change. He's been promoted to General and appointed Commander in Chief of the IRGC. Jesus Christ. Yeah, exactly, Will. 6 new ones on the board. But they've been on the board. Yeah, it's hardline PR. Yeah, definite. They're replacing dead guys. Or have a palace coup. Yes, that's what I think. When that guy came out, Karazi, whatever his name is, about 4 or 5 days ago, and he was making statements that he wants to make it a Sharia law government, clerical rule, and that to storm Tehran, do a coup, take out, if they resist, kill them. When he said all that, it definitely flags within the regime that they're gonna have to restructure, because they know that there's this shit. It's not good for them. They're in disarray. Tusi's mentioned this. But Tusi's angle is that if this guy were to take over, he thinks that the IRGC and all these other factions which make up the Iranian government, that would collapse, because he doesn't think that one guy can rule over everything. I disagree. I think the IRGC still will be in place. The IRGC love loyalists. They love hardliners. They want that. I still think the structure would still exist, but they'll weed out the people that are against it. They want to go even more ultra hardline. And there's a lot of clerics and mullahs that would love to see that happen. The question is, would the IRGC be open to answering to this person? Would they go along with it and take their order from them? Because that's all they are. They're just the military branch for the supreme leader. And would they enforce what the supreme leader, let's say this guy became the supreme leader, would they enforce what he wants to do? Or maybe you put people in the position that would go along with it. Maybe the mouse has been dead since it happened, when his father was taken out. Severely injured, he died a few days later. I'll never forget that memorial that they had somewhere. And his image was on there with Soleimani, Mouse Sr., and they had an image of him. Was that an oopsie? Confirming that he was dead? That's a big oopsie. But I remember that image. I don't know if it was in Mashhad or Qom. That was out there. Let's see. What's going on in here? I can see where that's going in the chat. Let's see what else is going. Okay, they're sharing it now all over the place about the assigned appointments. What is Vahid putting out? Same thing. Taib returns to power. Mustafa takes over as Deputy Commander of Chief. I need to know more about this guy, General Mustafa. Who is Taib returns to power? See, I gotta do background on some of these people that they promoted. They're probably hardline as fuck. Let me see. time is it? Oh my God, it's noon already? Trump shared a picture of him playing golf an hour ago. And it's got palm trees, so I'm assuming this is Mar-a-Lago. 3 hours ago, it's domestic politics, and then yesterday, 16 hours. So this is what he put out an hour ago, a photo of himself golfing. That's it. No caption, no nothing, just him playing golf. In other words, he's saying, I'm chilling. I'm not stressing. I'm out here playing golf. What's up, Chantal? Noon in Florida, time to cut the grass? Yeah, I agree with you, Smokey. If I had to guess, they're extreme hardliners. I know Vahidi is. I'm not familiar with the others. I have to do research on them. Oh yeah, for real. I am really dark with the tan. I'm in that pool too much with the sun. Yeah, it's getting like that. That's the truth. For real. And I don't know what the weather is now, but I'm going out there again. We're gonna have thunderstorms later. What's up, Darwin and XTJ1? You're not muted. Yeah. Like if I don't want to show you my leg. But I got really fucking dark. When did you live in Orlando? Oh my God. When did we buy the house in Orlando? Like 96? So that's a long time ago. I would show you a picture, but then that's too much information. I don't know if I even have. Nah, I don't want to show it. I changed my mind. It was funny because I had a pond in the backyard, and I would go see the alligators poke its head out of it. I'm like, oh fuck no, because they had these canals that all connect. You know how it is in Florida? You have those. It connects to this. It's all these little waterways that connect to everything else. It was crazy. Oh, you found it? You found it, Diesel? Yes, that's it. That's it. Good work, Diesel, finding that image. And he's on it. And this was a memorial. And he was on it. The Mouse Jr. was on it. And of course, Soleimani. Of course, the senior mouse. You know, you see all the other figures in here. But, yeah. Mouse Jr. is there. Exactly. I remember that. Good one. Good finding that. Diesel. But yeah, that when I saw that, I was like, oh shit. Are they confirming he's dead? Then we didn't hear nothing about it after that. I remember that. That's a good find. Good one. Diesel. Good one. They found alligators in southeast Oklahoma. There's a big crab out here in North Lipson. Bong always thought he was dead. Yeah, that was definitely an oopsie. And that was one of the in one of their more religious cities. Again, I don't know if it was Qom, Qom, or Mashhad, but it was a big thing. And there his image was, his picture. I was like, oh shit, are they confirming he's dead? That definitely made me think he was dead. Um, so who knows? Personally, I think they're covering it up. Personally, I think we're going to hear an announcement soon, like when we heard the rumor that he was being rushed in critical condition to a hospital and he was near death. All of a sudden, he's fine again. He's making changes. I mean, orders from the Supreme Mouse. All of a sudden, he's fine again. Nobody's seen or heard or seen any images. Nothing. Nothing. Meeting secretly in a car and they hear what they think is his voice, but they can't see him. Like, give me a break. Um, oh my God, Diesel. You know that. They probably went after the person who was responsible for putting up that mural. That person probably is gone. Um, so, yeah, let's just move on. Let's just move on. Again, let's just move on. That's all. Just move on and chat. Boys, it's like a playground. I'm just messing around. What, you calling me a juvenile? Like a kid in a playground? It was Mashhad, Kava? It was? Thank you. I thought it was. I couldn't remember where it was. So you remember that too, right, Kava? I remember talking about it. Um, all right, let's be easy again in chat, guys. Be easy. Anyway, let me check what it looks like outside. I hope it's clear for freaking the. I'm done. I'm not doing the meteor shower tonight. I'm definitely gonna cover it tomorrow, the night before peak. The weather is not looking good for Wednesday at all, and that's the worst. That's a bust. That's so sad. The night of peak, it looks like it's gonna be cloudy and thunderstorms. Shit, it looks nice out right now. We're gonna have thunderstorms possible later. But look how beautiful it looks outside right now. You think I want to sit in here? Are you kidding? I want to go outside. I want to go in the pool. Let me check the radar. Oh shit, there is a line definitely setting up to the west. That won't get here for a few hours, but look at that. And just the way the line looks, it looks like it's moving east. Let me put the future model. Oh yeah, it's moving east. Will it hold together? Will it break apart and lose? Don't know, but that shit is inbound. By this afternoon, I got time. That won't hit us till 6, 7. That's a future model. That goes to 1 o'clock. So yeah, could have thunderstorms later. Where else is there shit going on? Wow, Texas, you have a system coming in on shore. Southeastern Texas into Louisiana. Where's this going? Is it moving inland? I hate when it takes a while. Oh yeah, it's coming in. Slowly. Could have action in the midsection later. I know you guys are dealing with that heat down south. 90 in North Florida? That's not a bad idea, Kevin. Getting a little rain here today, finally. We have our 5th heat wave hitting us Wednesday. Wow! 37 Celsius? In the UK? Oh my gosh. Alexa, what is 37 Celsius converted to Fahrenheit?
37 degrees Celsius equals 37 Celsius equals 98.6 Fahrenheit.
100 degrees. Wow. Here it's humid, so it might be, by now, it's probably be like 84 degrees, but with the heat index, it's probably feeling like 98. Alexa, what's the current weather, temperature, and heat index? Alexa, what is the current temperature and heat index?
It's 82 degrees with a heat index of 99 degrees.
I was so close. That I wasn't off by much on either one. So it feels like almost 100 out there right now. Because it's so humid. It's 82, but it feels like almost 100. Because the humidity's got to be like in at least the 70s, if not 80s. It's that bad out there. I know a friend all up in here. Somebody from Las Vegas was saying it last night. They've had like temperatures at 115 average. But it's that dry heat. I experienced it when I went to Arizona, New Mexico. It is way different. It can be that hot, but it's not as bad as dealing with 90 degrees and humid. It is disgusting. I'd rather any day be in that dry, low humidity atmosphere, even though it's so hot, compared to the shit that we deal with here. For real. I'll never forget, I took the plane, I left Arizona, stopped at Fort Worth, stopped in Charlotte, got here, and as soon as I got off the plane, I was pouring sweat. It was disgusting because of the humidity. Excuse me. What's going on here? Chinese rocket was supposedly a very important military satellite folding in on itself and exploded shortly after launch. Wow. Oh, you're trying to make it like Star Trek? I'm not going to copy you. That's a good idea, though. Computer. Let's see the footage. Ooh. Oopsie. Wow. And there it goes. Disintegrated. Yeah, that's a crazy clip. Right? Diesel's awesome with his links, right? It's funny because somebody mentioned about the 10. I might have another, if I'm lucky, another month out there. This will last all winter. Oh, shit. Yeah, the fires are horrible. Horrible. Let me look at I don't know if it has that. I'm going to check that. Jason. I want to see that. I don't know if it does that map. Oh yeah. I see fires in the UK. Wow. This one looks like the biggest one. This one right here. Well, that sucks. Obviously, we're dealing with a lot of fires here in the US, especially out west. But I'm seeing, I mean, there's population. Wow. They need to contain this. Oh, hell yeah. But as far as your weather, let's see what the situation is here. But right now the winds are coming down from the north. Oh, there it is, that high pressure. Let's look at temps. That's at 5 p.m. Wow, yeah, your temperatures are definitely going to go up. Look at this heat down here. I have a feeling as the direction moves more to a northerly direction, you guys are going to get it. Oh, hell yes, there it is. Oh, man. By Thursday? Okay, now the winds are coming back down. It doesn't look like it's going to be too extended. Yeah, it's going to be for a couple of days. You have a couple of hot days coming up. There's a low pressure here. Look at that heat, though. Look at the heat here. Damn. I need to go back. See, we're in the heat now. We're going to get a break midweek in New England, Northeast. Look at that heat come. Look at this crazy high pressure setting up, pumping up this humid, moist air in here. And due to this disturbance, I would not be surprised if we see some severe weather here by end of week. It's summer, you're always going to have the scattered thunderstorms, but this high pressure is setting up right there. And it's going to be pumping that moisture right into the midsection. Thursday looks worse. And there's a low here, so you're definitely going to have storms here. Thursday. You got to keep an eye out for that. All right, it's weakening and drifting. It's not so bad. Cooling off here in the northeast New England. Weak system. They really need moisture out here badly. So yeah, there's the pattern. Oh shit, what is that? Oh, that's the one that I said is going to curve out. We're going to get fortunate with that one. It's going to curve out. Yeah, that's a bye-bye. Thank God for that. Japan. Imminent. Tomorrow? Tonight? Landfall. It looks like maybe a Cat 1 typhoon. Maybe. Oh, I gotta watch the Hawaiian Islands with this. That's right. Oh, it looks like it's gonna. Oh boy. Oh, this is gonna be a close call for Hawaii. The islands. Doesn't look to be too intense, thank God, right now. But that could change. It's still like a week away. That is like not good for Hawaii. Not good. The islands. Gotta keep an eye on this by end of week. This is way too far out. Way too far. Yeah, the Hawaiian Islands need to pay attention to this storm by the end of the week. Good morning, Tammy. China's rockets a lot of the times crash back into nearby villages. I hear you, Chantal. The only thing is, when winter comes, you'll be wishing that you had the heat right now. For us up here. You know how that goes. Enjoy it while it lasts. That's why I try to enjoy it as much as possible, because I don't want to regret in the winter that I didn't take advantage when I could have to be out there. My cat walked out the door and turned around. Too hot? All right, anyway. It's time for me to bail and head out there. I don't know if it's cloudy. Let me look at this again. Let's look at satellite. Oh yeah, you can see the storms. The clouds are gonna, it's still not bad here. There's breaks, but this is eventually gonna affect me later. That's moving east. So I gotta take advantage. As far as the weather for Wednesday, if this should continue streaming east, I am toast. Okay, let me look at Wednesday night. That's not a good sign. That's clouds. That's telling me it's going to be overcast. If it was like a solid blue, oh yeah, that's just not good. But that's Thursday at 4 p.m. Yeah, this doesn't look good. Let me try tomorrow night. Or Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning looks more promising for the meteor shower. Thursday morning, that does not look good. But that could change. We'll see. Anyway, you guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Be well, be blessed, be safe. Bill added links. Diesel, you're the one who added those links. Have you seen Eugene's live stream reacting to your stream? You should check it out 3 days ago. Uh-oh. What did he do? Are you guys snitching? Did he do something Not good? Well, now you got to fill me in before I leave. You got my curiosity. Who just put that in chat? JC? It's okay for people to be critical as long as it's not disrespectful. You know what I mean? If it's critical, there's nothing wrong with that. If a person disagrees and puts something out disagreeing with a person, that's fine. That's what it's about. But as long as they don't cross that disrespect line. You know what I mean? Jason, have a great one. Stay cool over there. Larry Bird is the GOAT. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm gonna bail out. Because like I said, I got things to do out there too. More repairs. Be well, be blessed, be safe. God bless all of you wherever you are. God bless our country, our troops, their families, our president. And I'll see everybody soon. And I'll keep an eye if anything develops. One last check to Telegram. Just that Rubio made a statement that the administration is closely monitoring the major earthquake that struck Colombia. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with the earthquake. Anyway, you guys, be well, be blessed, be safe. Have a great swiper, all of you. I'll see everybody later.